understand yourself? Do you think the world understands you? Do you care if they do understand? Well, maybe you do care, and maybe some people don't even care what they carry, don't even understand who they are. Well, though it's very important for you to understand who you are. My name is Samarandara, and I have put together this series just to make sure that I give you some keys that can help you unlock who you are. We're not going to make any moves, any big moves in the space that we are living in up until we understand exactly who we are. Self-awareness is very important. If we care about leading people, we care about leading organizations, and we care about being trendsetters, it is therefore important for you to understand who you are. Well, understanding who you are, it does not mean that you should be perfect. I know some of you say, but I'm not perfect. Why should I understand myself? Well, it's important. Even in your imperfections, well, somebody else out there can be helped. And have you heard of this thing? Well, during the interviews, there's a lot of things that are said about your strong points as well as your weak points. And they always say that the weak points are the areas of development. So that means that even in your imperfections, you can develop and become a better person. And in your imperfections, somebody else out there can learn something. Therefore, when it comes to self-understanding, it does not matter if you're perfect or not perfect. Can I shock you? If you don't understand yourself, you will be moving, but you will not be progressive. Have you seen somebody who says, I am busy, but still in their business, there are no results? Productivity is zilch. But they are moving. So that's what happens to a person who does not have any understanding about themselves. This is why it's important for you to understand yourself, understand what you carry, so that you may be able to understand or influence people around you. After all, there is a lovely scripture in the book of Romans that says that we should not conform to the standards of this world, but rather be transformed by the renewing of our minds. If you are serious about the scripture and you are so ready to change the world, you therefore got to follow it. And for you to be a trendsetter, of course, like I said in the beginning, you got to understand who you are, you got to understand what you carry. Most of you get offended. Sometimes opportunities come at play, come at your fingertips. You lose them. You lose them because you don't know what you carry. You don't understand who you are. There are certain strengths that you have that are beautiful strengths. But when you understand yourself, you know that it's not every weapon that you will have to use at every battlefield. But that only happens when you understand yourself. Some of you may be shy. Some of you may have greatest of the weak points. But you need to understand them so that you know that in some environments, those weak points can become a benefit to you. Think about a person who is shy. Being shy is not a bad thing. Either it's not a good thing as well. But it can benefit you in both ways. There are some environments that require your shyness, and there are some environments that don't require your shyness. Therefore, when you understand what you carry, you will therefore know which part of your trade you should use for a specific environment. Movement is important. We want to change the world. We got to change ourselves. But we got to understand you cannot change what you don't understand. I know most people are so afraid, and you could be one of the people who is watching me. You are so afraid of knowing yourself, because knowing self means that you got to take some time alone in a closet where you sit alone and you block your ears from the outside noise. Like it or not, the world is such a busy space. It's such a busy environment. If you can't take off time from the world, you will never be able to master yourself. We want to be loved. Everybody is fighting in the world. I want to be loved. I want him to love me like this. I want her to love me like this. But do you love yourself enough? Do you understand yourself enough? Our emotions take us from point A to B. Today we feel this, tomorrow we feel the other thing. You can't master the emotions because you don't know exactly who you are. You therefore need to care, you therefore need to understand who you are in order for you to really change the lives of people out there. I've seen people starting organizations, starting a lot of organizations, starting a lot of projects. They keep rising and falling, and they have really consulted with great doctors. They have consulted with great people of great knowledge and revelations, but still life is not changing. Life will only change the day you take time to understand yourself and to accept and acknowledge your capabilities as well as your incapabilities. And once you master that, and once you master where to use your capabilities and your incapabilities, wow, you will be such a beautiful person that attracts people into your life. And of course, that help people to really acknowledge what they are. Until when are we going to conform to the standards of this world? Until when are we going to follow those that went ahead of us? Until when? When are we going to be trendsetters? We can only be that if we acknowledge who we are and we take some time off from the outside noise and really understand what we carry within us. But how do you then get to know who you are? Very important. You need to take some time off from the outside noise, and I mean from the internet, from our phones, from people, the friends around us. And I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. Like it or not, many of you, many of us, we see the world through other people's experiences, through other people's eyes. Most people have fear, not because of they have had experience before, but they have heard or they have seen somebody struggling. Therefore, it's important that when you are on your route to self-discovery, you take your time off people. You sit alone. You can sit by the lakeside. You can take a long walk where there are no people. You can sit in a relaxed space, even in your house where you are alone. Just take some time off and begin to challenge the person within you. Listen to your inner self and acknowledge the person within you and try to correct yourself. We've listened to a lot of motivations. People have given us a lot of feedbacks, but the feedbacks cannot change us, the motivations cannot change us because we have not yet taken our time to understand who we are. That's why I am giving you this challenge. Go out there, have some time off, and go and reflect on your strengths, go and reflect also on your weak points, and work towards developing yourself. When you understand that, when you master that, you will be able to influence anyone. Did you know something? There are people out there that knows your weak points. They know your strong points. They always defeat you. They defeat you because you may not know yourself, but they know you. You have not yet acknowledged yourself, but they know you. They have acknowledged you. And therefore, they are using the advantage against you to destroy you. Just because you don't want to take time and reflect on who you are and how your attitude, how your character affects other people. Very important. Go out there and take some time off. Relax. Don't be afraid of yourself. Challenge yourself. Challenge yourself in being with yourself. Take yourself out and speak with yourself. Very important. And if you do so, I tell you, you can change anybody's life. Let's invest more in ourselves. Let's invest more in understanding who we are. It's very important. My name is Samara Ndoro, and of course I will see you again in the next series where I will be talking about self-control, which is a very important key as well in self-development. All right, let me go right now. Have yourself a great time. See you next time.